All right, hello, my name is Mike Velli. Today we are going to be doing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie review from a fan perspective, and also talk about what we think is going to kind of continue to happen here. So I have seen the movie 3 times to kind of gauge an overall opinion. I think I am going to give the movie a 4-star out of 5 stars. I think it was honestly a well thought out movie, especially with Scott there. I'm sure he did most of the work with that one. I did actually take notes on a whole page of what I want to write about. The first thing I do want to cover, though, is why people hate it. And I think people need to understand that as this transition happens with Blumhouse for the movies, it's not going to be exactly like the games. And if people are expecting every little piece from the lore to be involved in the games, that's just not going to happen. For example, we have Vanessa, who in the games doesn't even exist till the pizzeria, years later from the first FNAF. So that's something that's different. Obviously, we're going to go cover especially like the Schmidt family, which is a lot different as well. So, who is Mike Schmidt in this story? All we know so far is that Mike had a brother, he has a sister, a father, and a mother. And obviously, his mother died somehow. We don't know how. But his father is still alive. I have belief that Mike Schmidt in this movie is Henry's son. I know that's a crazy theory, but I think it actually makes a lot of sense here. We look at Mike's father, and in the movie, he's got kind of a light beard, a little bit of a mustache, and it appears that he looks like he's actually in the Five Nights at Freddy's, what do you want to call it, training video in the office, and it looks like he's the one working on the animatronics, which would make sense because he was the one who developed the exoskeletons in the story, the moving animatronics. I think it would also line up because when William takes Michael's brother, it makes sense in the storyline because in the story, William kills Henry's daughter. And I feel like there's a lot of correlation just with different things here. And I really think that Henry is Mike's father and that Mike is his son, and that, in this situation, in this series, Henry has some more children. The next theory about is Mike's memory clouded? Because, I don't know, it doesn't add up to me. Because if Mike's father is Henry, he should have prior knowledge about Five Nights at Freddy's. That's the only thing. All of the pizzerias, everything. If his dad were to be Henry, then I think that in some way Mike's memory might be messed up, might be clouded due to his childhood. If not, I could be wrong. And totally, this is just my interpretation of it. I could be wrong. Matt Pack could release a video and just absolutely derail me. What I'm saying? This is just theory. Okay, I do have to cover it. Should we talk about the box? I don't think the box really matters. I think all that's going to be in the box. And if you don't know what we're talking about, in the when Mike is looking for the job and he's in with the interviewer, who is William, there is a box in the background that is almost identical to the box in the game in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. What's in the box? I don't really know. I feel like it can have something to do with Mike's brother. That's my interpretation of it. We'll see. So, also tying back to the Henry thing, obviously William knows who Mike is. He knows that he took his brother. But my question is, would it not make sense that he knew that he took his brother because he was getting back at Henry? That is my only explanation to this, because otherwise, serial killers and kidnappers, they don't target specific people. They just take who's easy to grab. I don't think that it was a mistake. And I think by taking him, he knew exactly who he was before he took him. That's why the Henry theory is also stronger. Let's see here. The puppet. We gotta talk about the puppet, because the puppet is everywhere. And if you literally, like, I've seen probably 6 different pictures of the puppet hiding. Like, he's hiding behind Chica in a scene. Obviously, he's in the back. When Mike opens the curtains and looks, you can see in the top corner, you see the eyes, you see the puppet structure. So is Mike's brother the puppet? I don't know yet. There's not enough information to determine that. Because as of now, the Golden Freddy in the movie is only possessed by one child. We do see the It's Me, which would make sense if the puppet did draw the It's Me, and maybe that was Mike's brother. But as of now, the Golden Freddy suit possessed by one singular spirit. As of now. And that as well as what we see the boy. I don't really know if they disclosed any of their names. So, Dream Theory is real. I think by the book being in the movie and by Mike reading the book, it's a sign to us that Dream Theory is involved one way or another with the games, which I know everyone hates. Everyone hates the fact that someone can sleep and then dream something, but that's hypothetically what's happening in some of the games, at least by theory. We know it's real. We don't know what is dreamed, what is not. Maybe that has to also do with Mike's memory being clouded. Maybe he's dreaming something that's not what happened. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, we went over kind of what happened. Mike's mom's dead. Henry's still alive. Henry. Don't know if it's Henry. Excuse me. Balloon Boy. What the fuck? Like, listen, I think they honestly threw that in as just kind of a little blooper to be funny, because it doesn't really make any sense. Because it's literally the size of, like, a little toy, and it just teleports. A lot of people wanted to say that it's Mike's brother because Balloon Boy appears wherever Mike goes, but I'm not hip with that. I disagree. So Chica's cupcake, we have theory to believe, is actually her dog, because in the games we learned that Chica had a dog, and it makes sense that the cupcake is possessed by the dog. Other than that, it's either that or it's just Chica entirely, and she can possess both. We know that some animatronic bodies can be possessed, but with the bodies being inside the animatronics, I think it's a little different, which we do find out, and it is confirmed. Okay, so what's interesting, I think the Golden Freddy suit in the movie, it appears to be real, but if we're going off the games, it can't walk and it can't move. So in my opinion, in the scenes like the taxi, he looks back and he sees it, but it's not actually there. Because when Mike's sister is at the front of the actual location and Golden Freddy is standing there, and then when she walks in, he just disappears. So I think that it's still like the glitchy, not existence, and like it's still in the back room, but it can appear in perspective to other people. So the baby suit. We gotta talk about the baby suit. So, I think technically aligning, the baby suit makes sense that it's in its existence. Who's gonna fill the baby suit? That's the question. I really can't. It doesn't make sense to be. I don't know. Like, obviously, before, the point was to put Mike's sister in there, but I don't know. I don't quite know about that one yet. Just had to discuss it. Vanessa. So, like, again, like, whoa. Like, Vanessa comes in out of nowhere. We find out that it's William's daughter, In the games, we know that this is not true. In the game, she has no correlation with Williams. She was just hired to work at the pizzeria, or sorry, not pizzeria, but the Mega Center. Theoretically, by Afton's wife, who wanted someone to look like her daughter again and someone to use, and that's why Vanessa was involved in that story in the new game, especially with Ruin. We kind of learned some of that. Which, by the way, Mike's sister looks a lot like the character in Ruin. If we wanted to discuss that, that's also something to think about. But that would be way hypothetical, way in the future. So, don't know about that. Okay. Yes, so the empty suits in the back, we learned that there were or are other locations in existence. We learned with the Sparky costume, there's the Shadow Freddy costume, which is really weird, but I think it's more of just a purple Freddy. There's other costumes. So, it's belief that there are other prior locations which would also line up with the main story. Also, I guess this will be our last thing we cover. The room that Afton, his suit, is in, and the Springlock suit, is the room in the games that the camera does not work, which is really interesting. I think throwing that in there was actually kind of cool to us. And I guess here's what we need to discuss here. I feel like for a fan perspective, we all loved the movie. We wanted something a little different, but we got it and we enjoyed it. From a critic perspective, critics can hate all they want, but I don't know what you expect. I mean, you put a game that literally you sit in a chair and you press buttons on the wall, and you expect to get some of that into a movie? I mean, come on, it's going to be hard. Obviously, everyone was really upset that the animatronics were playing with, like, Mike and his sister and, like, building a fort and stuff, which was, like, cringe, whatever. It makes sense. It adds up to the story. The animatronics, we have to remember, are kids. They don't want to kill Mike, at least in the beginning. And they're kids. They want to play. And that's something that people forget. All right? So, I think that's going to kind of wrap it up. I'm very excited for anything that comes out in the future. I actually plan on maybe playing through all the games on this channel at some point if I want to do that. But I recently just rewatched my Matt Pat theory videos, get a great grasp of everything, and honestly, I'm very excited for the next movie that's going to come out. I think it's going to be a great series. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and subscribe. Comment if you have any different theories about stuff. I'm actually very fascinated to read and just hear what other people have to say, because I think with the movies, we're not going to get a lot because Matt Pat was in the movie, so he can't really disclose too much information. And I feel like we're not going to get as much from him. So hearing from other people about the theories and everything, I think it should be great. So, yeah, I'll see y'all later.